Have you ever wondered how much money you need to make in order to afford buying a $750,000 home, a $1.5 million home, and a $3.5 million home? I'm Kevin Goldman, your local Westlake Village real estate expert, and I'm sharing all the details you need to think about before starting your home search. We're going to look at how much you need to make, what the current market looks like, and what the monthly expenses are going to be. Before you think about house hunting, let's take a look at the market. In Westlake Village, as of today, the average price point is $2 million. I would say that right now it's a buyer's market. Even though interest rates are still elevated, it's still a buyer's market. The market has shifted pretty crazily in the last 6 months, and that's not just because of the influx of displaced people from the current fires that have happened in Pasadena, Altadena, and the Palisades and Malibu. People are either leaving California or becoming renters and cashing out. With that being said, because of all of these factors and just we're coming into the selling season, there's been about an uptake in about 25% more listings on the market. So currently, there's been about a 204% increase in days on market. The average days on market currently in Westlake Village are hovering around 74 days, over 200% increase compared to a year ago. There's a sneaky expense that most first-time buyers forget, and it can potentially cost you hundreds of dollars extra each month. So the first monthly expenses that most people account for are going to be the typical utilities. If you're knowledgeable and you understand buying a home, you're going to have property taxes. People say property taxes in California are high, but that's really just because of the value of properties. We're actually only number 15 in the country. Monthly expenses, your property taxes, insurance, utilities, water, power, gas, electricity, landscaping, gardening, pool. The sneaky ones are going to be solar panels lease. If you have solar panels on the property, you want to find out ahead of time if the solar panels are paid off or leased and what the lease payment is. Brush clearance, you got to take brush clearance into account. Also, there's the cost of the HOA, homeowners association fees, and there's places like Rolling Hills Estates, which, fun fact, is the same developer as Hidden Hills, but they and Hidden Hills base we talked about this in a previous video. The HOA expenses are 25 cents per $1,000 of assessed value. So that kind of makes it an even playing field based on footprint of the home. There could be a couple different HOAs. Like I know Wood Ranch in Simi Valley, they have 2 HOAs. If you're in a condominium complex, you're paying the complex's HOA, and then you're also paying the Wood Ranch HOA. And that takes care of the parks, the parkways, the sidewalk maintenance, and all of the unincorporated city of Wood Ranch. And then you have the HOA for the actual development that you're living in. Every gate-guarded community in Calabasas has an HOA. It's paid for the security of the area. Speaking of security, an additional cost could be a security system. There's Brinks, there's ADT, there's all these different security companies that will put contact points on all the doors and windows. I would always advise my clients to think about getting one. We all have that rainy day account that is like the oh shit bank account. You might want to think about having another one just for your house. Part of home ownership is dealing with a squeaky door, a rusted gate, rain gutters are clogged and they need to be cleaned out. It could be as simple as those things. It could be fixing the kitchen sink is overflowing and the P-trap is clogged and you need to fix that, or the garbage disposal doesn't work, or pipe burst. All these little things, or your roof is 35 years old and guess what, Jade and Joe, you need to replace it. Anything from $100 to $10,000, $30,000 to replace a roof. We want to make sure we have enough money on hand. It's a lot of money to replace a roof or fix a pipe. The current landscape of insurance in California isn't necessarily a positive one. Having money on hand in case of an unfortunate leak from a rainy day, pun intended, rainy day account, it doesn't hurt to have some extra cash on hand to make up for any potential issues with home ownership. Rough estimate as to how much you should have on hand every month to pay for things for your house. It's going to vary based on the price point. It's going to vary based on the interest rate of your home, your property taxes, your insurance, your monthly expenses on the house. $3,000, $10,000, $30,000. Once again, it all depends on what's going in versus coming out. So now let's actually look at the numbers. Disclaimer, I am not a licensed mortgage lender, loan originator, loan broker, hard money lender. I am not licensed or knowledgeable enough to dictate this. But for case study purposes and for general real estate knowledge, which everyone loves to know about, this is how much you need to make in order to afford a certain home in this area. Based on the price and how much you make. On the lower end, I've seen condos in Westlake Village, maybe the racquetball townhomes, and maybe even in Newbury Park Park, touching out to Oak Park. These are all areas that are right around Westlake Village, and even some other townhomes or condos in Westlake can go for $500,000, $550,000, $600,000, and that falls well within the $250,000 a year. And then we're looking at more single-family style homes, maybe in the North Ranch area. There's some townhomes up there that are really nice. The Fairway Villas right next to North Ranch Country Club. I've seen those about $1.5 to $2 million bucks. Someone could easily afford that at $500,000 a year. When you get into making $1 million a year, you might be looking at a $5, $6, $7, $8 million home. Going to be looking in Sherwood, easily first neighborhood, North Ranch Country Club Estates, and the surrounding areas in between Canaan and Valley Spring, up and down, like, triangulating Westlake Boulevard and Canaan, all over Sherwood for sure, and even Hidden Valley. So now you have a little bit better of an idea of how much you can afford. If this video has helped you potentially navigate not making a six-figure mistake, smash that subscribe button.